Mr. Minnis, I can tell already I like the ground I'm standing on, and you have a formula for this, and you have a way of getting it work, don't you?
Yeah, we developed a process that works for us. So they say if it's not broke, don't fix it.
That's right. Well, and you got a lot of good help.
Yeah. These youngsters tend to have their priorities straight, and they're starting to enjoy being out here in the elements.
Yeah. Well, what are they doing for you now?
Well, right now this is called a double dig, where they go down into the dirt the first 6 to 8 inches and extract all of the roots from the grass and weeds, and then they take the pitchfork and dig down another 6 to 8 inches, loosening the soil up, and then put the soil back, whereby you have loose soil so that once the plant starts growing, the roots can develop and be be very healthy.
And I can tell that you got good help, and these are good guys, aren't they?
They're good guys.
Well, I'm glad you got them.
Yeah, me too. We saw a need where children can be engaged in an activity that's positive. They procure a stipend of income, and they learn something that they could possibly utilize for the rest of their lives, eating healthy.
Well, and I know that you've received a Distinguished Service Award from the juvenile court systems in Shelby County, did you not?
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us about that.
Well, it's an honor, first of all, but more importantly, it's a result of our interactions with the children, and hope that they don't recidivate and go back into the penal system in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
And I believe you have a perfect record.
So far, so good.
You've got, and so your goal is seeing results, just like putting the compost in this ground. And I commend you, and it just really fills my heart to overjoyed to know that you saw a need and you had a vision. And it's in a 3-year process right now. I can only imagine. Well, I want to walk into this garden area, and we're walking on your walk paths. Give me an overview of what we see in this area and how you're utilizing it.
Well, there are medicinal herbs on this side. Fruit trees are in the middle, and over on the far end we have garden beds that we have a variety of fruits, mainly watermelon, cantaloupe, tomatoes, cucumbers.
Yes. And so prior to this, you had no gardening knowledge. So you are a hands-on learner. You are experiencing this as you go, along with the young people that you're putting into this garden, and you're teaching them how to use their hands. And we as gardeners, all of us know that there's therapy in gardening.
Yes, it is.
There's nothing like it, and I even know that we might live longer too. I have to tell you, it's a pleasure to be in Midtown, right in the heart of Memphis with you, Mike Minnis, and this is garden number 2.
Yes, ma'am.
You transformed this commercial lot. Okay, I want you to tell me, why do you have the sunflowers here?
Well, it started off when we first got this lot, as with others, we put bisqueen over it, that is clear plastic, so it can get rid of any toxins that might exist in the soil. And then we planted sunflowers to absorb any additional toxins that might be in the soil. Well, what has happened, we added additional compost to the soil to enhance its viability, and as a result, we grew to like having the sunflowers.
Okay, Mike, do you have a 12-month crop plan that you put into effect?
What we try to do is to get 3 crops per year. We get a spring crop, which some of it we recently harvest. Plants that are conducive to the springtime, like your spinach and arugula and things of that sort. Now we're into our second crop, which is a lot of your beans and tomatoes. These are things that are more conducive to the warm weather.
Okay, I know that rock creates a particular problem, doesn't it? It has limestone.
Well, we recognize that because of the acidity levels and the problems that rocks could present as far as lowering the positive hydrogen in the soil, we put ourselves to task with composting and causing change in direction for our beds. One year we'll go north-south with our beds, the next year we'll go east-west, and in between the beds we'll have walk spaces that we place compost and leaves on so as to increase the healthy aspect of the soil.
And the pine straw will then increase the pH.
Yeah, pine needles are high in nitrogen and they raise the pH level of the soil.
That's very interesting. I didn't know that either. See, you're never too old to learn.
It's a constant situation in the gardens where you have to be willing to learn.
Yeah, you better be able to bend with the breezes.
Yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
Yes. What is the poundage, do you think, that you harvest out of this small area in a season?
We get a couple of tons.
That's a lot of food.
Well, some of it is the high water content crops like watermelon and cantaloupe and cucumbers. We have some Armenian cucumbers that are as long from my elbow to my hand.
Goodness. Well, do you have any pest problems in here?
Sure we do. That's one of the reasons for the flower garden, to attract beneficial insects that like to eat the pests.
Okay, Mike, I've got a question for you. Am I seeing Queen Anne's lace blooming? What is this?
Well, we obtained heirloom seeds to start with about 3 years ago, and every year we would let certain of the carrots go to seed so that we can reutilize those seeds the next season.
Okay, I'm learning something. So the Queen Anne's lace is considered a wild carrot. But these are really carrots that you eat, and you say this is a purple carrot.
That's correct.
And you can harvest that seed from that bloom.
Yes, ma'am.
I didn't know that. Now then, so knowing that, you've got, I see the carrots in here. What's over there then?
Well, this bed is purple. Those are your orange nantes. Then we have what we call Amarillo yellow. Next to that's cutting of white, and on the end we have atomic red.
So once that carrot has gone to seed like that, that carrot is no good. But all these down in here
are still edible.
And
yes,
so do you designate these rows the same direction, or do you do the same process?
These have continued to remain in this direction, particularly because of the irrigation system that's set up over here, along with the swale on the backside.
All right, Mike, you've collected carrot seeds. What else do you do to help manage your finances with collecting other seeds?
Well, as I indicated, this is our second crop. Some of our first crop is hanging over here.
Oh.
After we harvested it, these are collard green seeds.
Yeah.
That we let winter over, and of course during the springtime they started to bloom, and we've since pulled them out and replanted. These are spinach seeds, and next to those are arugula seeds.
Well, I have to say that I admire wholeheartedly your concept of what you're doing to enrich the lives of others, but you're also producing in this area something else. You have a desert, a food desert here, don't you, with no fresh vegetables?
Yeah, that's of a major concern, to the extent that people tend to have a better quality of life when they have access to good, wholesome, fresh food.
Freshly picked and done. So in that vein of thought, you grow certain type of ethnic foods, don't you?
Yeah, we have some that we call culturally appropriate foods that are indigenous to the population, things that people have enjoyed over the years, their grandmother, great-grandmother, and now they still enjoy some of the same things.
Well, I know that there's story after story in your repertoire of memories of how that you have most of all enriched the lives of young people. And this is a byproduct of that.
That's right.
And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I can't tell you, I want to cry because I admire what you've done, and you see a need and you've had a vision and you filled it. And thank you for allowing me to come into your garden.
Well, I appreciate you coming, and I can tell you that no amount of money could buy the joy that comes from the end result of seeing these children.